Okay guys, take your orange sheet of paper, and the first thing you're going to do is fold it in half, hamburger style. Open it back up, fold the outside edge into that center. Do it again on the other side. And your paper should look something like this. Okay, so on this side, we're going to write parallel lines. Okay, so let's talk about parallel lines a second. We're going to open that side up. Parallel lines are two lines in the same plane that have no points touching. Okay, really? Okay, so in English that means they do not intersect. Okay, the way they do not intersect is that parallel lines have the same slope. So for example, the slope of one line, and we write, is parallel to the slope of another line. They are the same. So for example, if I have these two equations where I have y equals 4/3 x plus 3, it is parallel to y equals 4/3 x minus 5 because they have the same slope. Okay, so let's graph these lines so we can see for sure. So I'm going to begin right at 3. Go put a dot at 3, and I'm going to move up 4 over 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And now I can connect my dots. I don't have my ruler, so I'm going to use my book. Line this sucker up. There we go. So now let's graph the other line so we can see that it's parallel. So I'm going to begin at -5. Put a point there. I'm going to move up 4 over 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then I connect the dots. If you notice, with it having the same slope, they do not intersect. You can also see that when we're talking about the transformation of lines. We're talking about when the only thing changes is the y-intercept. All it does is shift the line up and down the y-axis, and we can see that being true here. Okay, the second thing to note about parallel lines is that all vertical lines are parallel. Remember, vertical lines have an undefined slope. So taking a look at this, if I was going to graph x equals -2, I'm going to draw a line where x is -2. Okay, and so now I have x equals 4. I'm going to draw a line at x equals 4. You'll notice that those two lines do not touch. They are parallel. Okay, close that side. Now we're going to talk about perpendicular lines. It's a long word, but it's spelled exactly how it sounds. Perpendicular. Okay, so perpendicular, we're going to open that side up. Perpendicular lines, if you remember, the word perpendicular means 90-degree angle, right? Which means that perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form right angles. remember that's 90 degrees. Okay, so perpendicular lines have what's called opposite reciprocal slopes. So if you don't remember, opposite means different signs, and reciprocal means flip. So what are you going to do with perpendicular? They're going to be different signs and they're going to be flipped from each other. So if I have the slope of m, the perpendicular slope to it would be, this is positive, so it would be negative. And this is m over 1, so this one would be 1 over m. So same's true if I have 1 over m, the perpendicular slope to that would be, this is positive, so this one would be negative. And this is 1 over m, so this one would just be m over 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph that. So if I have the slope of negative 2 over 3, the perpendicular slope, this is negative, so it's going to be positive, and this is 2 over 3, so this one would be 3 over 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph that. I'm going to begin at 3, and I'm going to move down 2, because it's negative, over 3. So down 2, 1, 2, and over 3. 1, 2, 3. Down 2, and over 1, 2, 3. I'm going to connect the dots. See if I can line this up. It'd be easier if I had my ruler. Remember, your lines need to go all the way through the graph. Okay, and then now I'm going to do this one. So I have starting at negative 2. And this time I'm going to go up 3 over 2. Up because it is positive. So up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then I can connect my dots. And they form a 90-degree angle. Okie dokie, y'all. That's it for tonight. Have a great evening.